made his first appearance on a Packers injury report Wednesday. He was listed as limited due to that back injury that the defensive end brought with him from Dallas in last week's trade. A report this week indicated that he's dealing with a facet joint sprain in his back and may need a pain-killing injection to play against the Lions on Sunday. Here's Matt LaFleur with more.
We'll see. I mean, we're still he's doing everything in his power. He's rehabbing hard. You know, we've got to get through a couple practices to see how he responds, to see how he does, but certainly hopeful.
RC, no one's clamoring to see Micah Parsons out there in a Green Bay uniform. It's not like all eyes would be on him.
Yeah.
But do you think Green Bay should play it safe and sit Micah?
So I think they should play it smart. That doesn't mean play it safe and sit him.
Okay.
You got to understand where he is. And, you know, I mean, I already know what Dan's going to say because he thinks that Matthew Stafford can play through any back injury. So he's probably going to be like Micah Parsons should go out there and play 80 snaps. But you also have to understand that Micah Parsons didn't get an opportunity to participate in training camp because of the hold-in with the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, I thought that this back injury was something that Heavy Pockets could fix. And clearly, it's not. And so now, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you have to look at Micah Parsons. You have to evaluate Micah Parsons, see where he is for this game, and see if having him on the field helps this team more than it hurts Micah Parsons' prospects for the future in this season.
I think you play it safe because, and listen, I don't know, y'all played.
You saying sit him?
Yeah. Just for the game. I'm just saying because he hasn't been practicing, because he hasn't been in quote-unquote football conditioning. Because he's been sitting out so much, I just think it's the safe way to go. Again, he knows his body better than anybody. You know, their medical staff is going to evaluate him. Understand where I'm coming from. This is about a Super Bowl. You get Micah Parsons with Rashawn Gary. You get them two brothers being able to go at the quarterback. You got Jordan Love. Expectations are high. We all know the brother could play. We just look for him in big moments. But we see what they've got available with them. Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. Jordan Love is supposed to be that dude now. Okay. You got this kid, Matthew Golden, that's supposed to be a stud. Romeo, where Arthur Romeo Dobbs. He's on the spot. Okay. You've got a crew. Kraft is good at your tight end spot. You're looking at this Green Bay Packers team, although you look at Philadelphia and Detroit as being teams potentially standing in the way. Green Bay is right in the mix now. They got Super Bowl aspirations. You do everything you can to put yourself in prime position to make sure you can deliver.
Play him. Unleash the beast. This is a guy that I've heard you say, like one of the most physically talented people you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. He calls himself the Lion. Unleash him. What do we trade him for? Or what do we trade for him if we're just going to – are we saying sit him because you're concerned about practice and his, like, ability to get up to speed or because of the back?
First off, I didn't say sit him. I said play it smart, right? I said you got to understand what he can do.
And that's because of practice and, like, getting up to speed with what they do or because of his back?
Well, combination of his back and the fact that he hasn't been practicing, because I've heard Dan Orlovsky say on many occasions in the past, if a cat hasn't been out there practicing and getting himself in football shape, you might want to be a
and you heard it from Dan Orlovsky.
I've heard it from Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, I mean, you're a great listener.
Damn right.
You're a great listener.
Damn right.
You know what? You know what you don't know, and you are brilliant.
That's right.
Because you listen to those who are.
Because I listen to those who know. And I steal it from y'all. Y'all teach me football. I get it from y'all. That's why I love. I'm waiting for you to say stuff. Like
You're in the corner right now.
I got the tape. I got the tape. And I think I've proven I watch y'all. You understand what I'm saying? How many times have I quoted? I see you everywhere.
Yeah. So you think
taking on the double team.
You think we don't want to play him because of his back, but 5 or 6 days later, let's get him on the field. The back is gonna resolve itself in a week?
No, I didn't say the back. I said that he hadn't been practicing.
He plays defensive end. Go get the ball, quarterback.
The combination, you can pull a hamstring, anything can happen.
Here's my thing.
Make sure you play.
I say play it smart.
Who's the best division of football?
The North.
Okay. Yeah. So the Vikings went what? I think 14-3.
They were 14-2 before they nosedived the last two games.
Right.
The last game regular season.
14-3. You gotta let go of that. You gotta Elsa that thing.
I mean, they got their ass kicked, and y'all.
All right, Elsa. All right, Elsa. Let go of it.
Sam Darnold.
So
you mean your guy?
You mean to tell me?
Your guy.
So the Vikings are 14-3. The Lions are 15-2. The Bears should be significantly improved. We're just gonna say, hey, we traded for this guy that's a generational talent, ridiculous football player, defensive player of the year candidate. Let's sit him because he hasn't been practicing in a divisional game.
Yeah, you keep talking that way. When you have a discussion for me, you can turn this way.
But you said sit because you said play it safe.
So what do you think? Is one game? Tell me, is one game going to make a difference? Honestly,
my thing is play it safe based on the evaluation of his back. right? Because the thing is this. If you signed him to a one-year deal, if Michael Parsons was on some sort of deal that allowed him to re-up after this season, if he was playing on the tag, then that's a different thing. Everybody has a different motivation. This motivation is about winning a Super Bowl. And it's not just about winning this Super Bowl. It's about trying to get to another Super Bowl in the 5 years that you have him signed for a landmark, historic deal for a non-quarterback. And so my thought is this. If Michael Parsons is struggling with the back, if the back is a little tight, let's use him in passing situations. Let's use him in 2 minutes. Let's use him in the red zone. Let's use him on third down. Because what this does is allows him to get acclimated without having the extensive training camp time that the rest of the people have had, and he gets to do exactly what you said, which is go get the quarterback.
Your vantage point isn't specific to just the Lions game. It's like the start of the season, easing him into the start of the season rather than just – so you're saying play him, but maybe not 80 snaps.
And that's what I'm saying. If his back is fine, play him as much as you want to. I'm not worried about that.
We see it the same
right? Because what happens is if his cardio isn't where it needs to be, he's not a quarterback. He gets to say, hey, sure, get me out. And so, but my thing is, if Michael Parsons playing more snaps, if Michael Parsons being on the field somehow puts him in a position where you can hinder who he is for the rest of this season, that's not smart football if I'm just trying to prove to people, look why I got this Lion because we're playing the Lion.
Final word, essay.
No, I'm leaving it to them. I got it. I heard where I stand. I'm not thinking about just the back. I'm thinking about the fact that he hadn't been practicing. Matter of fact, we saw him walk into a couple of preseason games, eating nachos, chilling. You understand?
You saying his body fat high?
I'm just trying to say. I'm just saying anything. Listen, we've seen non-contact injuries take place in football all the damn time. All I'm trying to say is make sure you're ready to go. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you're ready to go. That's all. It's not a big deal.
We got to toughen him up a little bit.
All right, leaving it there, guys. When we come back here on First Take, which star quarterback needs to have a better game tonight? Is it Dak or Jalen? We got
at least with 7 consecutive games without throwing an interception. What is your prognosis or your projection, I should say, for Jordan Love this season?
I think he's going to win MVP. And I think it's going to be a monster season. This is a quarterback that, if he stays healthy, should be a top 5 in the position when it comes to every statistical category. He's got an offensive scheme, and Matt LaFleur is a play caller that is one of the best in the NFL. The organization did something this year that they haven't done in forever. Took a first-round wide receiver, Matthew Golden out of Texas. Some people say reminds them of Steve Smith. He's got 5 or 6 legit, bona fide, deep wide receiver targets and 2 very good tight ends to go with a dynamic tailback. There's nothing else to be said.
Yeah, no notes. No notes on that. Great run game. They got the weapons.
Maybe just double down.
Yeah, maybe tell you that they are all in for this year because they just went and got the new toy in Micah Parsons. Who knows what packages he's going to be in. What I'm most looking forward to see on what they do with Parsons, you got a lot of new faces. You got 3 new faces along the interior of the Lions offensive line, which is one of the best O-lines in the league last year. Now it looks a little bit different, but look for those spinner packages, those 5 down where you put them over the center, do you put them over the guard? Rashawn Gary's 4.5 sacks against the Lions over the last 2 seasons. I'm excited to watch these boys on defense.
Yeah. What's the storyline here as far as you're concerned, Shefty, Lions pack?
Well, I know we're going to talk about Micah Parsons as we should. He's the first Packer in 100 years to wear number 1. The last person to do that was Curly Lambeau. I mean, think about that. It's 100 years since we've seen somebody in a number 1. The energy and excitement in Lambeau Field that day will be off the charts. It's also a comeback for Aiden Hutchinson, another Michigan man.
I'm so glad you brought him up.
Right? He's back that day because the air went out of that Lions defense when Aiden Hutchinson went out of the lineup last year. He comes back. He feels great.
That's awesome.
I mean, that to me is another storyline to a game that is just filled with.
And I'll say this. If I'm the Lions, I love this. Everyone's talking about Green Bay. Everyone's talking about Chicago and their new coach. Everyone's talking about Minnesota and their new quarterback. The Lions were the best team in the NFC last year. Frankly, they were the best team in the NFL last year until their entire defense got completely shredded and decimated. I know they've lost some assistant coaches. The Lions are my pick to go to the Super Bowl.